This is not something you really much hear every day in sports, but we may be seeing a major trade between two rivals, and especially here in the NHL, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers are two teams to watch out for this season as they are headed in opposite directions and could be able to help each other out by doing business together. This stems from the latest buzz circling around Penguins forward Jason Zucker and a potential move that reportedly almost transpired over the summer. According to Sam Carchidi of the Philadelphia Hockey Now, he believes that the Flyers contacted Penguins general manager Ron Hextall about a potential Zucker deal. The Flyers reportedly asked for a first-round pick to take Zucker off the Penguins' hands, but Ron Hextall wanted absolutely no part of moving a first-round pick for a salary dump. And you can't really blame him when we all know how valuable first-rounders are, and he just proved that he had enough money to get all the business done that he needed to this past offseason. And while it may not be the Flyers at this very moment, there is certainly potential for a deal to transpire, because the Flyers general manager Chuck Fletcher, he knows Zucker extremely well, as he pretty much drafted him with the Minnesota Wild back in 2010. Unfortunately for Penguins fans, they haven't seen that same type of player in Pittsburgh who was putting up 33 goals and 64-point seasons back in Minnesota. Zucker is a pending unrestricted free agent who carries a $5.5 million cap hit for the season, and he holds a no-trade clause which protects him from 10 teams. Considering his relationship with Fletcher, Zucker will likely be open to the move, but heading into training camp, the veteran forward will have every opportunity to shine as he'll be battling it out with Danton Heinen for reps on the left side of the second line alongside Evgeny Malkin and Rickard Rakell, and this internal competition will be one of the many things to watch out for when camp opens up in a couple of weeks, and it's going to take an absolute comeback season for the ages for Hextall to consider bringing back the 30-year-old winger. The Penguins currently just have over $20 million in cap space next summer, but they have some major decisions to make on starting goaltender Tristan Jarry, who is also a pending unrestricted free agent, and Jarry is entering a massive contract year and is going to be the focal point this season for the Penguins, and if he has a contract season, he's likely going to see a long-term extension around $6 million per season, and defenseman Brian Dumoulin's contract is also up after the season, as well as several other depth forwards up at front. So unfortunately, it's going to take a small miracle from Zucker in 2022-23 for Hextall to have any interest in a reunion. The Flyers, however, have been in the news lately as new head coach John Tortorella is really concerned about his team and he hasn't even coached a practice. He believes that the team has a massive culture issue and feels that the demons begin in the dressing room itself. The Flyers have been trying to unload forward James Van Riemsdyk and his $7 million cap hit for the season. The Penguins want absolutely no part of this contract. However, if there is 50% retained, perhaps they consider a deadline deal to bring him back in the stretch run. He showed last season with his 24 goals that he's still capable of lighting the lamp. At this point, Van Riemsdyk would be an upgrade over Zucker for the Penguins. Flyers forward Travis Konecny, however, is another potential trade chip to watch. Unfortunately, the right wing position is a bit of a logjam with Brian Rust, Rakell, and Kasperi Kapanen, so there's going to be issues with fitting. And seeing the Flyers move a 25-year-old winger who has the potential to still become an impact player for their rivals is pretty much going to be very interesting. And Konecny has 3 seasons left on his contract and is coming off a 52-point season. So taking everything into account here, Zucker will have a bright spotlight on his back come training camp as the Penguins will be holding him accountable to produce as a top 6 winger, and anything else will go unnoticed. And while it may start with the demotion to the third line, it could eventually mean a deadline trade takes place later on in the season. Hextall has shown that he is capable of wheeling and dealing this summer, so perhaps he has another trick up his sleeve, a trick that may involve one of the team's biggest rivals. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.